Okay, I got you.
I guess I've been dating my ex. Like, we known each other since 2009.
Mm-hmm.
We've been on and off because of me.
Okay.
Because I ghosted him twice
Uh-oh.
in the past. In
Uh-oh.
'09. I think it was 2016 because I was going through my first divorce when we reconnected. And this year, we reconnected, but I have been not consistent, not been able to meet up as much because I've been super busy. I have 4 kids in school and stuff like that. Fast
Mm-hmm.
forward to June. I think it was June or end of May. He told me that I didn't strike when the iron was hot, and now I want him on my timeline, and that's not how this works. He said that. Then he was vulnerable a lot in May, but I couldn't really respond to him in May because I was going through a lot of stuff behind the scenes he didn't know about.
Right.
But I never told him. I'm not going to tell him. Because he was telling me that he was pissed when I left him because he was hurt.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, I'm reading the comment. I was hurt. He was hurt. He didn't want me leaving. And a whole bunch of other stuff I can't remember. Oh, I asked him too, do you feel like I'm really, that I'm yours? And he said, I'm slowly coming around. In June, he started being guarded. I feel like it was me, but he was being guarded, sending one-word texts.
Mm-hmm.
And stuff like that. So fast forward to now. I'm trying to think because I can't remember what happened, what it was last month. Because last month I was inconsistent again because I got in the hospital.
Okay.
So when I reached out to him to let him know why I've been inconsistent, I thought we made up, or maybe it could be me. And I told him that I was pregnant, but not by him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, I'm reading the comment. Not by him. And that's when he caught himself trying to step up, kept asking me, is there anything he could do? Like multiple times. And when I finally told him, I guess he caught himself trying to get pissed off because I text him. And I can read the text, but I can't pull it up while I'm on this live. But I haven't reached out back to him. Because he pretty much was telling me to chase him because he tired of chasing me. He always doing the work.
Right. Okay. So what's your question here?
So what to do? I don't know. Like, I haven't talked to him since, I think, a week and a half ago or so.
What to do, like, what is the goal here?
I don't know. Like, I'm so confused. Like, I want to be with him, then I don't. Because he pissed me off. Because I'm a runner. I don't play with me. You can just roll your eyes at me and I leave.
Mm-hmm. How old are you two?
I'm 39, he 36.
Okay. How'd you meet him?
I met him a long time ago. I can't remember. Like, he was fresh out of high school. I think I met him through somebody.
Okay. You said, yeah, how many kids do you have?
I'm poor. By my ex-husband.
Okay. How long ago did you get a divorce?
I'm divorced from my kid's father was in 2023.
How long were y'all married?
4 years.
Okay. Okay. Why did y'all get divorced?
I don't know what I can say on TikTok. That's why I'm filtering myself on when you can get banned. He's a jerk, a jackass. He had a mom that treated him bad, so he hates women, and he's abusive, so I didn't want to put up with it. He didn't do no cheating or nothing. He just hates women, and I couldn't tolerate it. And I didn't have stability with him, financial stability or housing. And he hates me being educated. He hates me being independent because he thinks that'll help me, make me leave. But I'm like, no, the way you treat me make me leave.
Gotcha. And the current guy, does he treat you well?
He was, so he got pissed and hurt by me.
Okay. What did you do to hurt him?
Huh?
How did you hurt him?
He said if I keep leaving him and all that stuff, not making him feel first and important.
Oh, what's the longest amount of time you stayed with him?
I think this time.
How long is that?
Let me see. This about probably like 5, 6 months.
Okay. Why do you keep
No,
leaving?
no. When we first met, because we got in a relationship. And I think that was about 8 months.
Okay. Why do you keep leaving?
I was going through personal stuff. Like, I grew up in an abusive household.
Okay.
Then I got forced and groomed to marry my first husband. And I met my first husband when I was with him. So my first husband isolated me from, like, the world and him. And that's why I ghosted him. Like, I didn't officially jump him or give him closure or nothing like that because I didn't know.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And you left him how many times?
2. He brought it up, trust me.
So 2, and the first one is when you were still married?
Oh, no, I wasn't married. I wasn't married either times we reconnected.
Okay. Okay, so the 2 times you left him, what were the reasons?
First time, like I said, I was groomed and manipulated when I met the guy that I married the first time. Because I didn't want to be with him, but that. And
Wait,
then
so how is you being groomed and manipulated? How does that lead to you leaving
he was
this
an older
person?
man and all this stuff. When I was real young. I was 21.
No,
and
I'm asking.
Like, a lot of the stuff I thought was cute back then was really abuse.
Okay, but I'm asking, how does that lead you to leaving this person the first time?
This time or last time? That was the first time. The isolation thing that they do, I thought that was cute, but it's not.
I'm kind of confused. So your ex-husband is the one that isolated you, right?
Yeah,
okay.
My first husband, not my kid's father. I've been married twice.
Okay. So when did the second marriage ended in 2023?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the first marriage ended officially in 2018, but me and him reconnected in 2016. And when me and him got together, I was just too traumatized and hurt from the first marriage because all of the abuse that I went through.
Mm-hmm.
And I just told him pretty much, I don't want to bleed on you. I'm not there right now. I need to heal.
Gotcha. So your second marriage was the one that lasted 4 years?
Yeah.
Okay. So you reconnected with him in 2016 and you left him then?
Yes.
That was the first time you left him?
That's the second time I left him in 2016. The first time I left him was in 2009.
2009? And you left him then for what reason in 2009?
Because like I said, I got wished away from my first husband.
So you were still married in 2009?
When? The first time?
Yeah.
No, I met him before I met my first husband. And me and him was in a relationship.
You and him was in a relationship, and then your first husband, took you from him?
Yeah, pretty much.
And how did that happen?
I'm trying to remember. I was just talking to him, and he just kept pressuring me, pressuring me to just marry him. And I kept telling him no, and I didn't want to when I was young. And then listen to the stupid advice from my mom, because she's one of them old school women that take all the stuff from a man, beating, cheating, having babies, and still take them. And he doesn't know all this stuff. If I ever disclose it, he just So I listened to her, and she was like, marriage will make you stable. And the hell, like, I ain't stable on my own financially, and I got rid of him.
Okay, so first husband took you from the guy we're talking about right now, and that's because the guy we're talking about right now was putting pressure on you, or was the first husband putting pressure on you?
My first husband was putting pressure.
Okay, so you were kind of...
The guy that I'm talking about now don't know nothing. He didn't even know I was married until we reconnected this year.
Okay, how'd y'all reconnect this year?
I don't know. He popped up on my people you may know on Instagram, and I sent the friend request. And he jumped in my DM, and he was so excited. He was like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe."
Right.
Or whatever.
Right.
And he kept just jumping in my DM, so I finally answered.
Right. Okay. And you don't know if you want to be with this person or not.
I do, but I don't know, like, do he still want it and stuff like that? Because my thing is, too, why did he step up and then acted the way he did?
When you say that, what do you mean?
Like, he just got pissed and then he stood me up, too.
I need more context. Like, what happened?
Okay, he found out I was pregnant. This like a few weeks ago. And he just kept, I explained to him why we haven't been consistent. I told him I haven't been consistent because I've been in the hospital. I didn't want to tell you because I don't like him seeing me in that side.
Mm-hmm.
I guess because the way I used to be treated. So I was telling him because he probably would have rushed to the hospital, and I didn't want him to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sorry, I'm looking at the comments.
Don't look at the comments.
But
Distraction.
I reached out to him and I just said, I need to talk to you. So I said, hey, I need to talk to you. And I'm going to explain why I've been distant and inconsistent. He said, go for it. And I just started talking and I let him know. And I guess he thought about it. And the next morning he contacted me. I told him about the pregnancy. I have heart issues too, and other health issues. So I just told him I've been in the hospital and blah, blah, blah. And I was pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, the next morning, he contacted me and said, is there anything I can do? And then he asked again in another week because I denied him. I didn't deny him. I just said, I don't know what you could do. And then he asked me again, is there anything he could do? And I denied him again.
Okay.
And then when I finally asked him to step up, I did something that my anxiety did something to piss him off, in other words.
So when you asked him to step up, what happened?
Oh, I pissed him off. He said I pissed him off because according to him, I was like, what did he call it? Tracking him.
Okay. All right. So, I mean, the child's father, is that one of your ex-husbands?
That's my second husband, yeah.
Okay. Are you still actively dealing with your second husband?
No.
How long has it been since you stopped dealing with your second husband?
Since we got a divorce, that's it.
And that happened in 2023, right?
Yes. I wasn't around him for 3 years. I just went back around him last year.
Okay. How old is the baby?
The baby's 7 months. Oh my God, I don't want to say it. We just made an agreement to try to have another daughter. We ain't have another daughter, so we're like, boom, nah.
Okay. All right, love.
That's it. Because I didn't want to have kids with nobody else because the stuff my friends go through, we think the kid's father. I was just like, because my kid's father very active and he financially stable and he financially take care of them kids, his kids. And when I get sick, like I was just in the hospital last year, he takes care of me. He'll pay my bills and do everything.
Okay. I got you.
But that was like the only time we like messed around. For an agreement.
I'm gonna be honest with you, love.
I was just like, ooh, y'all the kids fathers don't do nothing.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Leave this man alone. Just leave him alone.
Why?
Just leave him alone. All right. Because one, you're not gonna be with him because he treats you well. I don't think you're used to that. So if he treats you well, you're just going to leave again. So you had this guy, but you still ended up marrying 2 other people, right? So that means you chose them over him. And they probably didn't treat you as well as this guy's treating you. So I don't think you're used to good treatment. Which means if someone treats you well, you're probably going to find a reason to run away. So you will be effectively wasting his time and doing him a disservice if you keep stringing him along.
I'm stringing him along.
Because I
felt like he was stringing me along.
No, he wants something. You've left him multiple times. He wants something serious with you. You just gave birth to your ex-husband's baby because you're having an arrangement.
He knows that.
I know that.
He said he don't have a problem with it. He knows that. He saw all my stuff on Instagram.
Those issues on both ends. Like if he was a male client of mine, I would give him a stern talking to for why he even wants to pursue this in the first place, right? I'd be like, what are you thinking about, right? I would call him an idiot to his face to really make it click why this is a bad situation. So I would either try to make it work with your ex-husband or just be by
Oh
yourself.
no, it's like being with Ike Turner Jr. No,
Well, you gotta be by yourself sometime. But I would leave this guy alone because there's nothing coming from it.
on my end or his end or both.
Both ends. He has very low self esteem because he's pursuing you in the first place, even though you left him multiple times and just had a baby. Ain't no confident quality man gonna accept that. They're just not going to. They'll be like, "Oh, you pregnant? You just had a baby with your ex-husband because y'all had an arrangement? Well, I'm out, right? Ain't no." So I can already tell what type of man he is just off of him desiring you still, given your situation. They don't even make a lick of sense. So you gotta. I would suggest leaving him alone so that both of y'all can go on your own paths and figure out what y'all want. But the two of you don't work together, though.
I'm laughing at your advice. I'm sorry, it's funny. Cause I thought he was stringing me
Okay, in a minute.
along.
Huh?
I thought he was stringing me along because of the way he was acting.
No, I don't think so.
Cause he been distant a little bit. Cause I know he been telling me to chase him, but he been distant.
I got you. Well, let him stay distant. All right?
Oh my gosh, I wasn't ready for it.
All right, dear. I got to get the other callers up. I wish you the best, all right?
All right, thank you.
All right.
I don't know how-
Chat, what we thinking? What are we thinking, chat? What are we thinking?
Hello?
What's up, man?
Hey, dude. I saw your live, and I just thought I might come up, ask you a couple questions, just for a little bit of advice.
Okay, what's going on?
Yeah, man. So, I live in Texas, North Texas. I don't know if you've been to like Dallas or anything, but
I'm heading that way.
yeah. Oh, you are? Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I've been here my whole life, right? And I'm like 26 right now, and I've just found that it's like really hard to meet people that are close to my age who are single.
Okay.
Like, and I have a pretty wide range. Like, I'm looking for like between 20 and 30. But it just feels like everybody that age is nowhere to be found. Like, I was part of another like dating group where they were saying like, oh, go to like libraries and grocery stores and like shopping malls. I tried all that stuff in the past years, but it seems like everybody is either like too young or they're older and they're married, but like no one in between. And I'm just really confused because there's like millions of people who live here. So like, I don't know if I'm just super unlucky or like
Have you
what's
called?
going on.
Have you called in before?
A long time ago, yeah.
You have a band?
Oh yeah, how do you remember me, bro? This is crazy. Yeah, I do have a band, yeah. But we since we last talked, we lost our drummer and we have not gigged in like 4 months. So it's kind of bad
Okay.
right now, but
It hasn't been that long since you called in. So what did I tell you to do when you called in?
you told me to promote more of the music stuff online, which I have been doing, but we can't really do much of that because we haven't been gigging because the drummer left. So we're kind of in a crappy situation. We haven't even rehearsed in like 2 months because of this guy's decision. So we've been trying to find a new drummer, but I've just been like on my Instagram, I've been posting videos of me playing guitar,
Right.
but it's really difficult to get views on Instagram.
Right.
So I don't know. I'm just trying to find like people in my area, but I don't know why it's like so difficult. Like I think a lot of them, there's 3 options. They're either at their parents' house and they don't go outside. That's 1. 2, they're at a college campus somewhere. Or 3, they only go out to clubs on Friday and Saturday nights. And we both know that that's a crapshoot, especially if you're average guy. So I don't know what the solution to this is, but like trying to find a girlfriend has been probably the hardest thing I've ever done in my entire life.
So where are you going to meet people organically?
Where am I going to meet them organically? Yeah, like I said, in the past it used to just be like places where there's people, like stores, and I used to try to go to the farmers market, but it just seems like there's a lot of old people there. Like everywhere I go, they're always too old or too young. There's nobody who's single in my age. And if they do show up, which is very rare when they do, they're only visiting for the summer, and then they're going back to college the next week. That's happened so many times. Like, I'll approach somebody, they're like, "Oh yeah, I'm going back to school next week." So, I don't understand it. I think I'm just in a crappy area, honestly.
How long have you been trying to solve this problem?
My entire life. No, I'm just kidding. Basically, basically since I turned 18, man. It was when I got out of college. When I got out of high school, I graduated, and that's when I started like thinking, "Oh, geez, I'd like to be in a relationship."
So
And
what was the
'cause
problem?
during high school, I didn't really think about it. I was more focused on like music
Right,
and
but
stuff.
what was the problem when you
Yeah.
were 18?
When I was 18, well, I went to a startup school, and I only had 33 people in my class, and I don't know what was. I wasn't really thinking about women then, but when I first went to college, I kind of, I don't know, I was getting like rejected a lot,
Okay.
and then I kind of like learned how to talk to women better, and that's when I started getting phone numbers. But then the phone numbers never turned in anything because they would just give them to me to ghost me.
Okay.
And then after a certain number of years, I just found, well, there's nobody to approach anymore because, like I said, no one is my age
No, that's not true.
in this
Look at
area.
your logic. You were to approach people at 18. That means they were local, right? They got older like you got older. So
Yeah.
there's absolutely people in your age range in Dallas. There's a flaw with like how are you even knowing the age ranges of these people?
Because I usually like I don't say how old are you immediately because that's kind of weird. So I'll be like, "Oh, are you in college?" And then sometimes they'll be like, "Oh no, I'm a junior or I'm a senior in high school." I'm like, "Oh shit," and I walk away. Or the person says, "Oh no, I'm 30 and I'm married," or something like that. So it's either extreme. Either they're too young, gotta avoid them, or they're too old and they're married. Uh, so it never is the case where someone's
How
like, "I'm
frequently
22,
how
I'm
frequently are
24."
how frequently are you
Yeah,
going out and talking to these people? Like how many people would you
yeah.
say one, how frequently are you attempting to solve this problem? And then two, when you do have these conversations, how many of these type of conversations are you probably having from a monthly perspective?
Okay, that's a good question. The last approach I did was a year and a half ago, so I don't have enough volume anymore because I've kind of just, I guess I've given up. I don't see really the point in it anymore because the same thing like, and I can tell who's young now. Like the ones I approached in the past, I couldn't tell because they looked more mature, but now you can tell because they got a baby face. Okay, that person is way too young. So, and that just keeps happening everywhere I go. I'm like, why are all these kids everywhere? Like, what happened to the adults?
Brother,
You know what I'm saying?
I think you're creating this
Yeah.
problem for yourself. I think you're not really grounded in reality. You can't tell people's age, not like that. You really can't. You really cannot. So you haven't approached someone in a year and a half because you're assuming what their age is, and I think that's really serving the function as being an avoidance strategy.
But people would call me a creep if I did approach them and they turn out to be 16 or 17 because that's happened to me multiple times. Like, I had one girl literally say, "Are you trying to catch a case, you weirdo?" And I said, "I didn't know you were 16," and then I walked away. So
Right.
those kind of traumatic experiences of being called a creep when that wasn't even my
And that
intention
I can
has
understand
made
that.
me just not totally stop
I
doing
can
that.
understand that, but
So
that's the
yeah,
problem here though. It's not that there's
yeah.
no one your age range. It is that you are afraid of that happening again, which I empathize, right? That's a very, it could be like a traumatic event. You know what I mean? 'Cause that's the last thing any man wants on him, any kind of label as being a creep, especially when you aren't one,
Mhm.
right? You don't sound like one. So I can understand that. But That's your problem. It is not. There's magically no one my age here. That's not a problem. Not in Dallas. That's certainly not true. So,
Yeah.
what I told you before was, the play that you want to make, man, is you always want to play to your strengths. That's why the whole band approach. I recommend that you do that before. You will more than likely you want to put yourself in what I call static environments, which are environments where you see the same people over and over and over again. And there's tons of ways to do this. Every time I talk about static environments, people are like, "What are some examples?" I'm like, "Y'all have to turn your fucking brain on, bro. I can't do everything for you. Google it, right? Like, just go on Facebook groups and type in like hobbies or clubs in your area and do a little bit of research and figure it out. We got to have some agency here. There's tons of clubs, hobbies, all types of stuff that you can put yourself in where you are now positioned to build a connection over time. That puts you out of the weird position to where like you have to approach a stranger. You understand? So it will match kind of the vibe that you had when you were in school, where you're just around the same people over and over and over again. It's probably how you made friends when you were in school. You probably didn't talk to them initially, but it was through just being around them a lot that you just naturally started to connect, you know? So that's the organic play that I would make. If you do have stuff posted on your social media of you being a musician, your I didn't dive deeper into like a social media strategy, but it wasn't necessarily for you to just post like you playing the guitar or something like that and then hoping that the algorithm picks it up. That's certainly something that you can do. What you also can do is go look at the Instagram pages of um, venues where people your age would go, right? So, like gyms and stuff like that. And look at who follows that gym. Look at who follows that club. Look at who follows that speakeasy. The people who are following those, someone just said follow DJs, right? The people who are following those pages are local. Because why would you
Yeah.
follow a local event space if you aren't local? It doesn't make sense. So then you can just like follow people who you may be attracted to. If they follow you back, cool. That could suggest that they have some degree of an opening. That's why I was saying to have your Instagram or social media presence dialed in. Because if you were to follow a young lady on Instagram or something like that, and she's open to it, first thing she's gonna do is look at your page to see if she has any interest. And if you don't look like someone who's interesting or attractive, she's likely not going to follow you back or be interested at all. So you got to kind of get
Right.
that part down first. But yeah, even down, I'm not even a dating app guy, but even a dating app will show you how many people in your area are in your age range. Like if you needed proof, you could download Hinge, put your age range to a certain range, and
Yeah.
you would see hella women who are in your age range in the area. So this is certainly not an age issue. This is a
Well,
positioning
that's what I
problem.
believe. Like, I believe they are here. I'm just saying, I feel like maybe they're like hiding in their apartment, or they don't go outside, or like I
No,
honestly don't know
no. I
what's
mean,
going on
there's
because I've been
there's
on those
probably
apps.
there's probably some
Yeah.
of them who do that. Sure, there are some people who
Yeah.
stay in the house, but you're kind of making it seem like there's no one within this magical age range in Dallas, Texas, who also happens to be single. That's just patently false. That's not true at all. And who also will go outside and go to places. That's not true.
Yeah.
That's
Like
not
if
true.
if I got like a private, like DM with you, like 'cause I don't want to dox myself, but I would tell you like the exact places I'm going to, like, and you would think, geez, there must be people your age there, but dude, they never. And I've been like going to a lot of these places for like 5 years. Like, and I'm telling you, man, I don't know if I'm just like super unlucky or what, but I understand what you're saying. Maybe online is kind of the way to do it, but like, I saw a couple comments saying like maybe he needs to looks max. I said that last time. I am trying to looks max, because people, that could be why I wasn't successful on the dating apps. I know I'm not disgusting looking. I do take care of myself. You know, I'm lean and fit, but you know, I know. I'm not going to turn this into like a rant or anything. I'm just saying I know because of the comments of a lot of girls over the years that they don't really like my face very much. So, you know, that could be an issue, obviously. But yeah, I don't know, man. I'd like to maybe have some like private conversation with you or something.
You can book a call, brother. Just DM me the word coach, and we can book a call, and I can talk you through a strategy to use. But there's definitely. And I wouldn't, even if you have gotten that feedback from women, listen, looks do matter. Looks are important. No one can deny that. So I always tell clients to just optimize what you can optimize. But what you do have to understand, as far as a difference between men and women, generally speaking, is women are taking on, they're taking in your entire like essence, like the full package. It's not necessarily just hyperfixating on your face or any other specific quality that you have. They're weighing multiple variables. So what you can't do is like be not very attractive, but then also socially awkward, and then not funny, and then not enjoyable. Like you can't do that. You got to pick a struggle, right? So if looks aren't going to be your strength, you got to max out the other qualities. Right. That's why you will see.
I feel like I do have those maxed out. I'm a really good conversationalist. Like I've told people this story, right? I've had multiple in the last 5 years, like online, like maybe it's like an app, right? And I call, like I do an audio call, and we have a really great conversation going for an hour, sometimes 2 hours, right? They love talking to me. And then as soon as they're like, hey, can you turn your camera on? I'd like to see your face. I've had some of them like straight up block me right after seeing my face. Or they don't straight up block me immediately, but they'll be like, oh, wow, it's great to talk to you. And then after the call is over, they block me immediately.
Yeah, it's different. It's different in the digital space. The digital space, anything digital is going to be looks focused. Like if you were doing what I was doing, right? Like having a live like this, I can benefit off of the mechanism that I'm telling you because people are watching me in real time and they're seeing more aspects to my personality, right? What you're describing, the way that works, it is going to be them hyperfixated on looks. That's just how the digital space is. But the digital world is not the same thing as the real world. In other words, a woman can swipe left on you on a dating app, but if she happened to meet you in person, she would connect with you. And like hypothetically speaking, right? It happens all the time. So that's one of the reasons why I used to tell clients who were not very physically attractive, I'm like, listen, if you're not a 7 out of 10 or above, don't even think about dating apps. It's just you're not playing to your strengths. I always help people play to their strengths, which is why I was telling you to hopefully play with your band and then meet women that way. I understand now that the band is not something that's operational currently, so we got to find another approach. But the meta lesson is you want to always play to your strength. So if you book a call, we can talk about it because I got to move forward, brother. But hopefully you do so we can get you right, all right?
Well, thanks, brother. I appreciate you having me up, and you have an awesome night.
You do the same, Chief. Take care. All right. What we got next? A lot of people in the queue. I got problems for real, don't you? Hello.
Hello, hi, hey.
What's going on, man?
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Hello. Actually, it's my first time here. My name is Brooke.
Mm-hmm.
And, I follow you, and I appreciate that you're giving up, the informations. And my question is, did you work for, from other, race, from Africa, Ethiopia, or other countries?
Like, do I answer their question on this live?
No, yeah, I mean, in general, do you work with them, with another race, another planet?
Sure.
Okay, and what is your input when it comes to um, like like dating like apps, like someone like me, I'm not like into apps, and I'm also very shy when it comes to myself out, and I don't want to get like rejected, and I don't put myself. I think I feel like from fearing rejection, and then so I, what do you advise? And I think I'm also trying to get like maybe personal one-on-one with you, so like the previous guy. Yeah.
Yeah, you do understand that costs money, right? So you can DM me the word coach and we can set up a coaching call, but it's not free. I feel like I have to say that because some people think I'm literally giving away free phone calls. I'm not Santa Claus, but
Yeah.
yeah, you can't afford to be shy as a man, bro. You can't. Only people who can afford to be shy are women and children. So if you're a grown man, you can't do it. So you got to do what you can to get out of it. I empathize because I too was shy when I was younger, but you got to get out of it. Like, how old are you?
34.
Yeah, you really got to get out of it because you're 34. So like I had this problem solved by the time I was in my 30s. So you have to get this solved. The only way to overcome fear is exposure therapy. That doesn't mean you have to go out there and hit on a woman right now, but you do need to talk to them. Until you face your fear, you're going to remain afraid. And the only way out is doing what you're afraid of. You cannot think your way out of it. There's no conceptual ideation that's going to save you from this. The only way out is through. You have to face what you are afraid of doing. So you should take baby steps in that direction. Maybe you don't
Yeah.
even make eye contact right now. Maybe you start there. Maybe you start with just making eye contact. You do that for a week. As you do that more, you develop more comfort with it. After that, maybe you just start saying hello. You do that for a week. After that, maybe you start giving out compliments. Not any sexualized compliments, but just maybe whatever is adorning them, right? And you just kind of stair step your way up. Like I said, you take baby steps in that situation, but we have to get you accustomed to talking with people. With that being said, you also must remove doing anything that produces shame. So you don't have to confirm this, but if you're watching any kind of corn or anything like that, you gotta stop it. You gotta stop it. Because when you consume that kind of stuff a lot, especially in your situation, it keeps you trapped because you will have a lot of shame around it. And shame makes you not want to be seen. You'll see a lot of guys in that situation, they can't even make eye contact. They have that much shame, they can't even look you in the eye. So you have to, one, face your fear, and then two, stop engaging in activities that may produce shame, because that's going to make this whole process even more difficult. Okay? So that's just where you need to start right now. You're not at the phase yet where it's like, oh, let me go flirt with a woman or something like that. I would also say, apply this approach to people in general, not just women. The easiest people to talk to are going to be service workers, because they're literally paid to talk to you, right? They're paid to talk to you and to have a pleasant conversation with you. So taxi drivers, Uber drivers, baristas, go to a restaurant, the waiter or the waitress, try to engage them a little bit, right? Because they're going to be pleasant to you. They're not going to be rude because it's their job. And you can use that to your advantage so that you build the skill set of just engaging people, okay? Because it is a skill. It's not something some people are born with it, but everyone can get better at it because it is a skill. Does that make sense?
Yes. Actually, like I don't want to cut you off, but also, I mean, I can like start the initial conversation a little bit, but how like to change the subject like to next level? What's your advice like to grow that like friendship to another, like, so if I am interested in this woman and then but how do you like outgrow that like initial attraction, and then make him more like letting her know like in a way, like not like an awkward way, but more nicer, but like right way.
Are you good with making friends?
You say what?
Are you good with making friends?
I used to be, and after I lost my brother, I mean I'm not nowadays. I'm not. I have some friends, but not.
Okay.
I'm more like reserved.
Okay. All right. Okay. So, can you get to a quieter place? There's a lot of background noise, brother. Okay. It's too much going on. I gotta mute you real quick. I'm gonna say what I gotta say, and I gotta move on. So, think of it like this. Think of it like a pyramid, right? There's basic social skills, and then there's flirting, and then there's like physically escalating, and then sex, right? Think of that like a pyramid. You're trying to skip the bottom rung and then jump to flirting. If you don't have basic social skills, meaning you struggle to make friends, you're not going to be able to flirt because you're missing the foundational skill set. Flirting is a more advanced version of basic social skills, okay? So before we start trying to figure out how to get women on dates, we have to first just learn how to have pleasant conversations. Okay? He's a barista. Did he say he was a barista? Or are you just context clues because of all the noise? I thought he was on the wing of an airplane. I thought motherfucker was Homelander. Okay. Who else do we got? Hello.
Hey, what's up?
What's up, bro? How you doing?
Good. Are you familiar with avoidance, dismissive avoidance?
Sure.
Yeah, my wife's a dismissive avoidant.
Okay.
And she's pulling back.
Okay.
So she kept pulling back, and I kept asking her why she was being so cold. And it just made things worse. And I said, if you are looking for a divorce, if that's your problem, then... But then she's like, yeah, I am. And I didn't think she was going to call my bluff.
Right.
But she did.
Okay.
So the problem is now that I don't want a divorce. I was just asking her if that was her problem. But I learned recently about attachment theories and stuff like that. And her type is avoidant, where she avoids emotional closeness. So I would go and ask her why she was being so cold, and that would just make her go away further.
Mm-hmm.
So now she's asking for a divorce, but my type, I learned, I think it's anxious attachment, and where I need reassurance of the love always.
Mm-hmm.
And she's the complete opposite, where if you try to get emotionally close, she runs away.
Mm-hmm.
So how can I keep? I don't want to lose her, you know. How could I win back the avoidant?
How long have y'all been married?
20 years.
Okay. So 20 years, for the full 20 years she acted like this?
Well, I didn't know about this attachment theory.
Don't think about the attachment theory. Just your current experience of her. Is that always how she's been?
Right.
I'm asking you.
Huh?
I'm asking you, is that always how she's been?
Yeah, she's always been. I never knew. I thought I was alone, but apparently it's a whole thing. A whole bunch of people suffer from what she suffers from, avoidant, or
Gotcha.
personality disorder, I guess it's called, or a theory or something like that. I'm
Gotcha.
not sure.
All right. Has she so throughout the marriage she struggled with being vulnerable?
Right.
Okay. And she would create distance when you try to get closer?
Right.
Has she ever complained to you about anything?
No.
For 20 years, no complaints?
About being close to her.
No, just in general.
I mean, yeah, sure. I mean, of course.
So
But
within the last year or so, has she complained about anything?
well, the thing is, she complained about me mentioning divorce. Like, I'm not, because the thing is, she would say that I'm looking for a divorce, and I would say, no, I'm not looking for it, but I'm asking you every time, if is that what you're looking for, that you're not being emotionally loving?
Okay.
And
When
then,
before the divorce conversation, when did you notice that she was starting to pull back?
well, ever since like 10 years ago.
What do you mean ever since 10 years ago?
Well, it's just been gradual, a gradual like checking out.
Gotcha. Okay. So for the first 10 years, she was kind of present. And then 10 years ago, you saw a gradual pullback.
Right.
Okay.
So,
Did anything significant happen around that time?
well, the thing was, while she was a stay-at-home wife, she was fine. But as soon as she went to work, her coworkers were telling her, you could be independent and all this and that. And then she started studying to become a nurse, and now she's about to become a nurse. And so she thinks she's going to be some, big shot, money making person, and I'm not on her level, I guess. And she, feels that she's better than me.
Why do you say that?
Oh, because we really, well, we really didn't have any problems before she went to work. I mean, we had problems, but
I know,
for the
but
most,
you made there was like a lot of like assumptions made there. So I'm trying to see what did you observe on your end that makes you conclude that she thinks she's better than you?
well, she's always telling me like, oh, you need to upgrade yourself. I'm gonna be making this much, and you need to do the same.
Okay. So she told you that 10 years ago?
No, recently, like a couple years ago,
A couple of years
5 years
ago.
ago.
Okay. And how did you respond to that?
Well, I started. Actually, I didn't really respond to it. Because the thing is, right? I was born here in America, and I brought her from Europe here.
Mm-hmm.
So now I feel like she just used me to get educated and to get a career, and now she wants to leave me. So I
I
told her,
don't
if
think
you
that's the
want a
case.
divorce,
I don't think that's the case
huh?
because she was with you for 10 years before she had any kind of career aspirations. If that was really her goal, she would have executed on that plan a lot sooner. So, um, how did you respond behaviorally to her saying that to you a couple of years back, like trying to get you to elevate?
Well, I've been trying to see what the answer was to our problems. I'm trying to solve everything and walk on eggshells and try to participate and see the marriage differently. And I've just been becoming more and more like a servant towards her.
In what way?
Just trying not to upset her, trying to remember everything she asked for, and trying to dot all the I's and cross all the T's so we
Gotcha.
don't have any issues.
So, if you upset her, what would happen?
Well, she would burst out.
In what way?
Like, for examples, like the shoes outside the house, she would always tell me to put it inside the rack. But if I would forget and she tripped on one, she would just kick the shoes
Okay.
out of the way, like really hard.
Okay. How would you respond to that?
Well, I would tell her, you don't need to get angry. But then she says, I learned it from you. Whatever she does wrong, she says, I learned it from you.
What does she mean by that?
Well, it's just an excuse she uses to excuse her behavior.
Is that excuse valid?
Yes.
Okay. So how is it valid?
Well, as Americans, we get upset when we get hurt, and we kick stuff.
That's not an American. That's not an American thing, brother. You can't don't lump us into it. I don't be kicking shit. That's a you thing. So when you get mad, you kick stuff, huh?
I'm saying if something got in your way, I mean, you're gonna kick it if it hurt you.
Nah,
Like if
I don't think that's the situation. Okay, so there was some issues on your end too. So you had an emotional regulation issue. So you would get angry.
Right, because it's 20 years. So I try to mature with the relationship because I was raised all American and I had the American way of thinking and feeling, and she had the European way, and we had a lot of culture differences.
Right.
And like we here in America, we watch a lot of movies, but there, I guess they don't watch the same love movies and stuff like that. So she didn't know the emotional cues, like if you put your arm over her, it's time to kiss or something like that, and she would not know how to react to something like that.
Okay. And if she didn't know how to react to something like that, how would you respond?
Well, I would try to teach her, right?
Okay.
But she just would just be dismissive about the American culture and the way we do things here.
Okay. So when she had that conversation, basically telling you she was communicating to you to be a bit more ambitious, did you become more ambitious or did you just kind of stay the same?
No, I actually changed a lot.
Okay.
Changed a lot.
Okay. In what way?
I got rid of. Well, I started seeing the marriage as a partnership.
Okay.
And I do the dishes, do the laundry, she comes home, the house is clean. I do my own work. I help feed the boy. Whenever she has difficulty making dinner, I take dinner over. I buy dinner outside, and I try to help as much as I can.
I hear that, but and that's a good thing, trying to help around the house. But it sounds to me like she was asking you to be more ambitious, financially ambitious, not wash dishes. So, was there anything you did to become more ambitious in terms of your career?
No.
Okay.
Honestly, no. I just, I not really, no.
Okay. So, it is very possible that she is dismissive avoidant, but sounds like on her end there's a lot of resentment for whatever reason. I don't have the time to unpack it. Feel free to book a coaching call by DMing me the word coach if that's what you want to do. Same thing for everybody else in the chat. If you want a coaching call, just DM me the word coach and I'll tell you how you can purchase one. But it seems like there's a lot of resentment. When women leave like that, oftentimes there's like signs and there's a communication around like there's like a Hail Mary moment a lot of times where they may resent you for something and they just communicate what it is, sometimes directly, sometimes subtly, and a lot of guys don't pick up on it. So when she started to elevate career-wise, she was telling you like, yo, I want you to be more ambitious as well. Like, I don't want to be the breadwinner here. I want to know that you have movement in your life, that you are. Women don't like being, they want to know that things are emotionally alive, right? And ambition is one manifestation of that. They hate stagnation. The feminine hate stagnation. They just do. So they need movement, right? Things can't stay the same for too long, oftentimes, for most of them. There's exceptions, but they need movement. So if you're just going to work, coming home, watching movies, kicking shit, as you've said, right? And then she's seeing movement in her life, right? She's going to want there to be movement in yours as well, or else there will be this feeling of like outgrowing you. So it doesn't sound like she wanted any kind of divorce when she communicated that to you. That was her attempt to tell you to create more movement in your life so that it feels like we're heading somewhere, that there's some degree of progress being made, right? And then you responded by helping out around the house. It's not saying that you shouldn't help out around the house. That's fine. But that's not the type of movement that I'm talking about.
Because the thing is, she doesn't, she gets to keep 3 checks and she gives 1 check to the house.
Mm-hmm.
So three of them she gets to keep and 1, goes to the house. Do you think that's fair?
Well, here's the thing, brother. This is your household, right? So if you're in a situation where your woman is doing things and you're like, that's not fair, you have really misread the situation, right? Like I'm not going to be in a situation where I'm like, that's not fair, because either we're doing things that make sense for both of us, or we're just not going to be together. So in other words, I wouldn't be in a relationship or a marriage where the woman just does whatever she wants to do and doesn't care what my opinion is. I would just divorce that person, or I would break up with that person. See the distinction I'm making? So even asking a question, is that fair, means you've egregiously missed the mark here. You understand? Like if it's not fair, we have a conversation about it and then renegotiate the terms. And if she is unwilling to see things from your perspective, then you just leave that situation. It's really that simple. Now, that is very emotionally difficult. I know I'm making it sound simple here because I'm not the one married. But that's still the truth, right? Sometimes you have to do things that are emotionally difficult. But that's just the reality. A lot of guys end up in bad situations in their relationships or their marriages because they're unwilling to leave the person. They're unwilling to leave. And then people who act in bad faith will clock that, and then they'll start treating you worse because they know you're not going nowhere. Now, I'm not saying that's what your wife did. I'm just saying that's oftentimes how it plays out. She doesn't sound like someone who necessarily doesn't sound like a bad person, but she does sound like she has a lot of resentment towards you. And you probably have some resentment towards her. I'm not here to pick sides, but I am explaining the situation to you, right? So, you likely drop the ball when it comes to leadership in the household, which is a common thing because us men aren't really taught that for real. So I try to help men the best of my ability to do that. But it sounds like this was a relationship where there wasn't a lot of healthy communication. There was probably a lot of missteps on both sides. She grew resentful. In the last ditch attempt to maintain things, she asked you to be more ambitious. You didn't pick up on the hint. You stayed the same. She elevated past you, created more distance due to the resentment, and you mentioned divorce and gave her an opportunity to execute on it. So if your question to me is, how do you get her back? Answer, that ship may have already been sailed.
What was that? I'm sorry?
I said, if your question to me is how to get her back, you may not be able to. Women tend to break up with you or end things mentally before they do it in real life. So in other words, they will psychologically and emotionally leave the relationship before they do it practically, right? That's where that distance you saw. That was like her leaving the relationship. And then when you approached her about it and you mentioned divorce, that's why she jumped on the opportunity to have one. But you kind of let her off the hook a little bit. Like, you were the one who mentioned it, you know? So you might not be able to save the situation. Counterintuitively, if you were able to save it, it would look like you focusing on yourself and elevating your own life, because it sounds like you spent a lot of time focused on her. You would be more attractive if you like focus on putting yourself in a better situation, not being cold or mean to her. That's not what I'm saying. But simply focusing on yourself more, the same way that she's doing, right? And finding things that make you happy, finding things that brings you joy, elevating in your own way. That would be the only thing that I would say that could potentially catch her attention. You would just have to do that without also being like mean, cruel, or cold to her, because that's going to be counterproductive.
Because the thing is, right, I've been staying quiet around her, and she tells me, "Oh, you're just a wolf in sheep's clothing, and whenever you get out of trouble, then you start misbehaving again." And right. I haven't been speaking much around her because I don't want to create pressure. So I stay silent. And I mean, we do go out to the park and stuff like that and have dinner outside, but
right,
we don't really speak to each other. And like, you know, we do like have ice cream together, but we don't speak to each other. So if I start chasing her, then it's gonna chase her away. So
right.
I'm just buttoning it up and being silent around her and not creating pressure, so she can feel relief, and hopefully that's the ticket back.
No, it's not. That's not a ticket back. No. That's like the complete opposite of that whole speech I just gave you. I'm not going to repeat myself because that was a lot I just said.
Yeah, so I know, but the ambitions and stuff like that.
You have to live for yourself. You're still trying to live for her, and that you think that is something that is good, but it is unattractive to her. Because it communicates weakness. Communicates weakness. It's like he'll do all these things to kind of make me like just stop doing that. Stop changing your behavior to appease her. Just stop doing that. Stop being quiet because you don't want to set her off. Don't care that she's being set off. You want to say something, say it. Right? She's not paying you that courtesy. She's not doing that for you. She's doing what she wants to do. Right? This is what I mean. Not being able to, you got to be able to lead the situation. Right now, you're not in a position to even get her back because you're still contorting yourself to make her happy. Yes, you can't do that, man. It is so unattractive. And that's where a lot of the resentment probably comes from. Because you probably are the quote unquote nice guy in the relationship. And then when you snap, you snap. That's the read I have on you. You're probably very nice and accommodating, but when you get mad, you really fucking get mad. And she resents you for it. So you got to change that, brother. And we can't do it in this conversation, unfortunately, because there's so much to unpack. So if you want to get a coaching call, just DM me the word coach. We can go deeper, all right?
Thank you so much for your time. Take care, brother.
No problem, bro. Take care. All right. A lot going on with that one. Angela, what's up? Angela, are you there? I don't think so either, Maya. Last time, Angela, you're muted. All right, come back up. All right. He said she fell asleep, probably. Hello.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Okay, Ben. I guess just one question. What's the best way to kind of fix like an anxious attachment style?
What's the context? Are you dating somebody or in a relationship currently?
Uh, yeah. So I'm coming out of like a year-long relationship. I think it was just like the classic anxious avoidant kind of conflicts.
Right.
And I think she basically broke up with me 2 days after our 1 year anniversary. And like everything was kind of going well from my perspective. So I was a little blindsided, but after like kind of reflecting for the last like 2 months, I kind of realized that I have like a pretty bad anxious attachment style. So I kind of wanted to heal that before I start dating again. And I just didn't want to be as like in my head or like try to earn the other person's love as badly.
That's bad news for you, brother. And that is, you cannot heal your attachment wounds in isolation. It requires a relationship. It requires you to be romantically close to someone. Now, you can increase capacity while single, which leads me to my first question to you. What does your lifestyle look like outside of a romantic connection?
Working professional. I kind of volunteer at my local mosque on like the weekdays. Play like I'm in like a recreational basketball league.
Nice.
I have like a little small business that I help with my family on the side. So I try to keep myself as busy as possible. And kind of finished my master's up a few months ago, so have a little bit more free time now. So yeah, just trying to stay as busy as possible now.
Okay. Were you as busy when you were in that relationship?
Yeah, I was. I tried to make as much time for that relationship as I could because I felt like I felt like I was present, but we shared a mutual friend group, so I would end up seeing her pretty often, like on the weekends, just because we would all kind of like hang out. And she lives like about an hour from me, so I would just basically kind of end up crashing at her place on the weekends. So didn't have to make that kind of like drive back. So ended up seeing her like pretty frequently throughout the week.
Okay. How was your anxious attachment manifesting within the relationship?
So I feel like in my head, the more dates I plan, the more I communicate, the more I think the other person will love me. And it's like, I would say kind of early on in the relationship, I was a little mistrusting, just because of previous relationships. So that kind of manifested in like kind of more conversations with her about like previous guys or anything like that, previous relationships, if it was just like physical or if it was a little bit more serious. So I would say something along those lines.
Okay, so what do you think, like which behavior of yours do you think, like do you know why she broke up with you?
For what she said she had a gut feeling. And that was basically what she left it as. I tried to ask her if she could verbalize what this gut feeling was, and she said, I don't know. She basically said, I'm confused. I don't know why I'm doing this, but I just have this gut feeling as to the breakup. So, yeah, I was just a little confused. I still kind of am confused, but I've been trying to do some self-reflection.
Gotcha. And how old are you two?
I am 31. She is 30.
How'd you meet her?
Through that same mutual friend group. It's kind of funny. I slid into her DMs about like 2 years ago, but I think she was seeing somebody at the time, and then we kind of reconnected at a party about a year ago, like last April or 2025 April, and we just kind of hit it off then, and we just kind of went on our first day, and then everything unfolded.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. So, as far as like any behaviors that you exhibited that are connected to anxious attachment, it was you being skeptical of her due to past experiences, and what else?
Honestly, that was about it. I think from my perspective, and this is my own kind of theory, I believe she's a little bit more dismissive, avoidant leaning. And I think I may have spent a little too much time with her because we would like work from home together sometimes. And I would just try to plan a lot of the dates, X, Y, and Z. And I think I may have came off a little bit more serious or like more smothering, I would say. And aside from like early onset jealousy, she did a really good job of like helping me feel like safe and secure, but it kind of took us a while for us to become official, like about 4 months into it, and that was also a little bit of a point of contention. And she's a very kind of like guarded person, so it took a while to kind of break down some of her walls and get more of her softer side. But I would say like after the 6-month mark, she became like a lot more softer and like affectionate, I would say.
When you said that you were planning dates and everything, how many dates were you going on per week?
I would like to do at least one date a week, just because like kind of break up the monotony if we were like working from home together, or if we were just like not seeing each other as much. I would try to plan at least one date a week.
Okay, so why did you say you were smothering?
Just because like I don't know, I feel like I spent so much time with her, and I know she was the type of person that like in the beginning of the relationship, or even before we started dating, when we went on our first date, she was saying that like she prefers long distance relationships, that like she wants like if she ever got married, that she would want like a separate bedroom from like her husband, things like that.
Okay.
So in my head, yeah.
Yeah, I mean that was the first mistake, getting with a woman like that to begin with.
Yeah. I unfortunately ignored those red flags from the jump, but she kind of changed her tune throughout the relationship, so it kind of made me feel like, oh, okay, she kind of changed her mind, or like kind of realized like, hey, this is something that she enjoys. So in my head, I thought we were kind of on the same page now, but kind of looking back now, I think that was probably her true desires. But yeah, I think I was just smothering because looking back retroactively, it's like, oh, maybe this type of person maybe wanted some more space and like more independence from me, I guess.
Yeah, I don't feel like, so the main thing that I'm seeing that probably contributed to any kind of negativity to the relationship
Yeah.
is the jealousy aspect of things. That's what you would need to handle. You don't want to come from this place where it's like, okay, well, I need to change what I want in a relationship just to appease the other person. No, you're just with the wrong person.
I hear you on that one. I think, but in terms of the jealousy, I think that was like just like the first month, like month and a half. But after that, I felt very secure. I trusted her completely.
Okay, well then, yeah, this was just the wrong person scenario. This, like, even though you are anxious and that is something to deal with, that ain't the reason why this connection ended. You just with the wrong person.
Okay. Yeah. No, I hear you. It's just, I think the way it ended just kind of got me feeling a little like tripped up. Because I've never kind of broken up with somebody while things were going good, and
Right.
like especially just like 2 days after like a anniversary. Like it was like a really good anniversary too. So I was just a little like I've been just soul searching, I guess, for the last 2 months.
Yeah, I get it. It could be jarring, for sure, especially if you were dealing with someone who's avoidant. So I get it. They typically end things when, well, a lot of times they will end things after like a positive moment. But yeah, that's not on you.
Okay, okay. No, I appreciate the heads up or the opinion.
Absolutely, brother. Best luck to you. All right.
Thank you. Have a good one.
All right, you too. All right. He seems genuine. I agree. I agree. Yo. Hello? Buddy like Easy E. All right. Hello?
Hi, can you hear me?
I can. How are you?
Hey Marquette, how's it going?
Good, good. What can I do for you?
Thanks for having me on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little nervous because I'm kind of in a nightmare, if you will. I'm gonna try to condense this. All right, I met my husband, still to be husband, 9 years ago, in Chicagoland, and we met through the West African drumming and dancing community, and we ended up, over the years, just performing together in various capacities, and shared a life of adventure and performance, and I can say we had 8.5 to 9 years of just pure bliss and beauty, right?
Mm-hmm.
But this last year, I would say was a little rocky. We had like a little falling out last summer, where things kind of went sour. I don't know, for a couple of weeks, and then it was great all year. We had a performance this past April. We prepared for it for months. He really supported me at my school. I'm a science teacher, so I get a lot of my kids involved with the drumming and dancing, and he helps with the drumming. I'm more of the dancer, but I do drum a little bit as well. And I don't know, long story short, May rolled around, and have you ever heard of a Rainbow Gathering?
No.
Okay, so it's like a festival up in different state parks and stuff throughout the country during the summer, around 4th of July.
Mm-hmm.
We got engaged at Rainbow Gathering. So it's like a very sentimental event for me, just because we got engaged, and it's a fun place to go meet people and kind of party, and there's drum circles all night and blah, blah, blah. Well, anyway, he's like, oh, we're going to go to Rainbow Gathering this summer. The guys want to go, and normally we all party and hang out together. And he's like, but, my friend wants it to be a boys' trip. And, that's fine. We take separate boys and girls trips over the summers. But for this specific event, this was kind of like layers. There's layers to it, because this was a place that we all enjoyed together over the years, on and off. And we hadn't gone in a couple of years, and I was excited. And at first it was like I was included, and then all of a sudden I wasn't included.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the heart of the summer, and there's only so much time off over the summer, and it's where we got engaged, and blah, blah, blah. So I was kind of just building resentment, and I tried to just accept that, what, maybe just let this go, and okay, he can have his boys' trip at this event, whatever. But as much as I tried to let it go, I was still resentful. But that's besides the point. Over the 2 months of I would say May and June, we had some just like fights, but I really felt he was resistant. Like I used to be able to open up to him. Like I could be very emotionally open with him and he would be receptive. But at this point in time, he was just shutting me down. I couldn't really open up. And can I give you an example per se? So I was like, hey, since we're not going to be together for our engagement, I was thinking we can do like a little getaway up at Peanut Island, West Palm Beach area. We could do our snorkeling trip that we love to do. You know, maybe we can do something like that. He's like, this topic again? Go talk to your friends about it. That's not the wholesome, respectable man that I married. And I just couldn't believe that. What? Like that? What do you mean? Go talk to my friends about it. What? What? Are you out of your mind? And then he gets off the phone and he goes to drum for 5 hours somewhere, like a drum circle. Don't hear from him. That's not his normal behavior. And comes home and we're not sleeping in the same bed. This is just kind of an example of what was happening on repeat for a couple of months. So then, you know, I said, I'm going to take a separate vacation to Chicago when he's gone on his trip. Okay, so he went on his boys' trip. I never went to that festival. I accepted it. I took a road trip to Chicago to see my friends and family. I did my thing for actually like 15 to 20 days. It was a long trip. He did his thing, but normally my husband checks in every day. That wasn't happening. Didn't talk to him for 11 days. 11 days. I tried to go the space route, do my thing, and I'm like, this is not... I drove across the country, half the country, from Florida to Chicago, and I did not hear anything. I'm like, this is actually really bad. This is not normal. So I get to Chicago, and I'm doing my thing, and I was like, he's my husband. I'm going to just send a neutral text. I hope he's okay. You know, like, this is crazy. So I just said, hey, I hope you're doing all right. Hey, happy engagement weekend. Sending you love and peace. I mean, it's like we're buddies. And sorry, I'm trying to just gather my thoughts here. We finally talk on the phone. I'm going to try to get to the end of this. Talk on the phone, and long story short, because we had talked about doing therapy. He gets on, how's your trip? How's your trip? We talked about it, whatever. And then he says, about therapy, I'm going to think about it. He had been on and off about trying therapy out, right? He got back to me like 4 days later. I was still in Chicago. He had been back home now in Florida. He said, I'm not doing this therapy, and I don't believe in these systems. It was as if like another man was speaking, okay? And I'm moving out. He abandoned the house and our marriage while I was gone in Chicago. I come home, it's empty, all of his stuff, and there's another monkey wrench. He got his green card in March.
Okay.
So here I am now, room empty. I've got a 2-story home to myself. You know, I'm like, holy shit, you know, what the heck happened? And there's no address. He's refusing to explain where he is. You know, I'm still just in shock. And I am starting my school year. I'm trying to move on with my life, but there's so many things now that I have to cope with on a legal standpoint. Because I'm liable. I'm his sponsor for the next 10 years. Okay. So I've got to think about my livelihood, how to deal with that, and the divorce process. Am I trying to like be with him? No, no. But I'm just, I'm heartbroken and I'm suffering.
What's the question here?
Oh, thanks for asking that. Mm-hmm. What happened? Because Because to me, it seems like an exit affair.
It sounds like, how long are y'all married?
9 years.
How long does it take to get a green card?
He never even cared about the green card. All the years he never cared. He was always procrastinating. I don't want to do it. I pushed him, right? I pushed him this last year. I'm like, listen, you should really get it so you have more freedoms. We can travel the world, you know. He never even cared.
Okay.
So it's like,
And okay, so 9 years married. At what year did you notice the shift? Like the last year?
yeah, this last year. Yeah. Like
Was
last
the-
July,
Okay.
a year ago. But then we were fine all year. We were
Okay.
fine all year.
Okay. Did anything significant happen? Any changes of behavior before you noticed the difference?
It was when his friend called and tried to book that trip and then exclude me from the trip. So it seems like there's something that he wasn't being honest about.
Do you
And
have
one day,
do you have evidence of the trip? Pictures, anything like that?
not yet.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna tell you the highest probability is cheating.
Yeah.
That's the highest probability. When people's behavior change always means something. You've been together for 9 years. That's too long for someone to be pretending. So something changed, something shifted, something you're not aware of. And if you said that y'all normally would take a trip together and he magically didn't want to take that trip with you this time, and you have no evidence from going on the trip, he probably took the trip with somebody else, which is why he didn't want to keep talking about it. So, yeah, that sounds like. And if he's cheating, he has another woman in his ear. Yeah, he probably is like, let me go and get this green card real quick and get up out of here.
Yeah, I'm just like, he was such a wholesome, loving, respectable man. And like, I don't know. It's very out of character. It's insane. It's just like I'm in a nightmare. You know, it's just very out of character. This is not the man that I married. Like we had a love story. You know, we built friendships all throughout the country. We had friendships abroad. We had an entire legacy together. Like this is just very abnormal to just up and leave an entire love story. Like it's so fucked up. It's mind boggling.
How old are you two?
What?
How old are you two?
Oh, I love this question. I'm 42, but he's 34.
Okay.
So I also noticed that was maybe a little bit of a thing.
What do you mean?
Because as a science teacher over the years, you know, I noticed that my energy has shifted from less going out and mingling and him still wanting to be in that phase. So our interests kind of diverged a little bit.
What about
Even
y'all's?
though-
What about physical?
What?
What about physical intimacy? What was that like?
Well, so I guess, you know, he would be like, it's inconsistent, and he would complain about that, and I get it. I can admit that it wasn't very consistent, but that was just because I can honestly say tired teacher.
Well,
I was
doesn't
very attracted to him.
that doesn't condone cheating, but I'm sure that played a part, beloved.
Yeah, no, I get it. Yeah, he kept bringing that up quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm also like, I love birds, and like we oftentimes will hike and go birding and all this, but I have birds in the house, and then he would just start complaining about the birds. So he like it was almost like he was manipulating my mind. He'd be like, the random romance, the birds, and then I didn't want to move to Florida. So he's like, these three things I'm resenting. And I was like, okay. So I tried to come up with solutions and be better. And I felt like I was working on those departments. I was actively trying to find solutions and work harder. You know, I had resentments too. But what was he doing to help with my resentments? I didn't see much. So it's like he could sit there and point his finger, but he was still doing the same shit too that I was resenting.
Mm-hmm.
But I wouldn't just abandon him. Like I was willing to work on things. So I feel that this was really just super shitty, and this is really traumatic.
Yeah, I agree, love. But that's the situation. I know it's tough to deal with, but you just gotta do what you can to move forward. All right.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for listening, and I really appreciate your time.
Absolutely. Best of luck to you. Okay.
Okay. Bye.
Bye. All right. No more callers. Done for the night. Y'all can drop a question in the chat if you would like, but callers, no, not at all. Very unfortunate situation though. I wonder where Buddy was from. Anybody pick up on that accent? Yeah, Spanish, Dubai, Russian. Okay, wait, y'all, so y'all don't know, is what you're saying. Y'all don't know. Y'all just listing random shit. It seems like, yeah, if you don't fuck him long enough, he's definitely getting out of there. So yeah, sure she has her reasons. Resentment on both ends, but yeah. How to not care about the new woman? What do you mean? Poland? Oh yeah, the age gap too. Mm-hmm. Yep. Age gap would do it. Age gap would do it. Every time. I always tell people that's the run a risk. I was telling a guy, I made a video about that. It was the genders will flip, obviously. About like guys who want to date younger women. Like I get it. However, 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 the risk that you run. See, women tend to like cultivate a sense of self, like a deeper sense of self, like around approaching 30. They like kind of like, this is who I am, right? They have like that realization around the age of 30. You get it before that time, like 24, 23, 25. You run the risk of her having that realization and then not being compatible with you anymore. I can never date younger. I generally can't stand younger, maybe 2 years younger. I saw a woman who was on TikTok making a video, and she was talking about how her man got together, and she was in her early 20s. Soon as she got around the age 30, she reflected on the relationship. I actually don't want this. This isn't really in alignment with where I see myself going. That's the risk. That's the risk. I think they were missing parts of the story. I certainly don't know how that story went on forever. That was a Christopher Nolan film. I don't think we missed anything actually. I think I had as much details as I could hold. So what makes y'all say that? Things were missing now. Y'all want it to be longer? Is that what you're saying? So you prefer the longer stories, what you're telling me. You're alone in that one. So she downplayed her crazy. I mean, that's to be expected. I don't think the woman's crazy at all. But when the people who call in, they're always going to, we're biased, all of us, right? So that's to be expected that people are going to give you like how they see things. So that's to be expected. The love story thing is what got me. I mean, if you're with someone for 9 years, man, and 8 of those years are so good you don't have any complaints, I get it. However, you know what it makes me think about? Could mean Buddy was doing a lot of accommodating without speaking up for his needs. That would explain that. That would explain being with someone that long and being like, it was perfect. And it's like, yeah, because he was trying to make it seem that way. Because he didn't have his balls. Didn't really speak up for what he wanted. Possibly. You said, or gay? Where did gay come from? I mean, that's also possible, but there was nothing to suggest it. And she said she wasn't giving him sex. She didn't say she cut that off. She said it wasn't consistent and he was complaining about it because she was a tired teacher. But that'll do it. 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 I love someone and then he cheated on me. I'm sorry to hear that. Sorry to hear that. I thought he loved me and there were so many red flags that I ignored. Yeah, you gotta not do that. Don't ignore the red flags. Yeah, the age gap thing could be a detriment. Yep. Yep. All right, any last minute question before I get out of here? I wouldn't put it past any man. Wouldn't put what past what? I need y'all to understand. Both men and women are fucked up. Come to this live long enough, you'll hear horror stories from men and women. There ain't no good side, I can assure you of that. There's no good gender at all. I promise you. We do fucked up things to each other in different ways, right? In different ways. Not always the same way, but it'd be some men are dealing with women who are pregnant, know the baby ain't his, but will lead him to believe it is. Now, can you imagine anything worse than that? Does that not seem evil to you? Evil. I would call that evil. And the men have their own version of evil. But we got to get to the root cause. The root cause of what? You think that couples therapy helps at all at the one point? I mean, it can. I think like that's one of the situations where an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. You should like probably. I think the problem is people try to solve. They try to get therapy or some sort of counsel after they're like, they've really messed up. It's like even when things are good, just go in and do that. I think people have a habit of distraction instead of working for something to fix it. Right. 100%. Okay, people. I'm gonna call it. I'm getting out of here. If you're new here, make sure to follow. I'll go live twice a day. I'll be live again tomorrow at noon Eastern time. If you want to watch the streams of these lives, they're on YouTube. You can always watch replays. We have over 200 episodes of this on YouTube currently. Link in bio for that. It's at The Signal Dating. If you want coaching, 1 hour coaching call. We can solve whatever problem you're having. Just DM me the word coach and I will send you a link to purchase your call. Okay? Appreciate the mods, appreciate the chat. I will see you all tomorrow. Y'all take care.